Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bella and today we're back with a nail video. Today's a little bit of a different kind of nail video. Instead of me going to the salon, I'm going to be doing my nails at home. Getting manicures has gotten really expensive. It's giving recession vibes, and so I'm not trying to pay $150 for a set that is going to break in the first week. So here's how the nails turned out. I feel like you guys are going to be super surprised to find out that they are literally press-ons. I glue them onto my nails and I paint them myself. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I got my nails to go from this raggedy mess to this really beautiful Barbie glam baddie set, then please keep on watching. And all for a super cheap price. So I'm gonna be saving my homegirls some money. You guys already know.
First things first, we got to remove this set that I had on previously for like 4 weeks. They used to be longer, but I had to trim them. So I'm just going to start by cutting off the tips of my nails, and this is just going to make filing them down a lot easier. To remove them, I like to file most of the plastic tip down because these tips are plastic. They're not acrylic or anything. So just filing them down makes it easier for them to come off when I soak them in acetone, and that way I don't have to file too much or soak for too long. And I do want to give a quick disclaimer before we completely get into today's video. I am not a nail tech or professional by any means. I have never gone to school. I'm not licensed to do nails. This is just how I do my nails at home. So if you guys decide to follow some of my techniques and methods, please do so with caution and make sure you guys are doing your research beforehand. I don't want to be responsible for anybody getting like infections or injuries, so just keep that in mind when watching, please. And I'm sorry to all the nail techs who are gonna watch. After I filed these down super thin, I'm going to go ahead and take a little brush and just clean off all the powder from my nails, and I'm going to go ahead and soak them in this acetone that I mixed with warm water. That way it's not super potent. And once they soften up, I'm going to go ahead and just file off the remainder of the tip, which shouldn't be that much. And I just do this very carefully. I make sure that I don't get super deep into my nails. But you know, if you're a nail tech watching this and you're cringing, I'm sorry, that's just how I do my nails. Now I'm going to be picking out the tips that I want to use. I'll have everything that I linked in the description box. These tips are amazing. They come with so many different sizes and so many multiples of each size. So I really like that. And I'm just fitting the tips to my nails, making sure that they touch sidewall to sidewall and that there's no gaps on either side. That way it looks as seamless as possible. Plus they have a natural C-curve and they look super good. In my opinion, they look like acrylics and they're not super flat on the top, which is a great plus. So this is the nail glue I like to use. This is the Kiss Pink Gel Nail Glue. I looked for this online. It doesn't look like they sell it individually, but I did buy it in the Kiss press-on packs at like Target or Walmart, so you can get it there. I'm gonna put some glue on my nail, and then on the back of the tip, putting glue on both sides just ensures that the nails will hold up way longer. This method has made my nails last for literally up to 4 weeks and without them lifting or falling off or popping off or whatever. So I really swear by this glue. Figuring out how much glue to apply is definitely trial and error. Sometimes I put too much like I did here, and so I'll just wipe away the excess, but sometimes I get it just right, and you know, the glue will never spill out of the sides, but it's definitely something you get better at over time. You can see that one was like almost perfect, but yes, definitely just take your time with it and make sure you put enough glue because you don't want air pockets under the nails. Here's what all the nails look like once they're on. So some of the glue tends to get like air bubbles. It shouldn't have air bubbles, but the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And I'm just gonna use this little nail trimmer I got off Temu, and I'm just gonna trim my nails roughly to all the same length. I definitely went back and trimmed them a little shorter off camera, but here's what they are looking like. And I'm just gonna take this 100-180 grit nail file. I listed the pack that I got off Amazon in the description box along with everything else. You guys can check out my storefront for those links. But I'm just gonna go ahead and roughly file down the edges so they're not super sharp or anything. So this drill is pretty good. I got this one off Amazon too, and I'm just gonna use this to go ahead and take the shiny layer off my nails. So I'm just gonna roughly file them down until they all look pretty matte and flat, just like that. And this helps prep for the gel polish that we're gonna do so that it sticks and adheres better and lasts way longer, so your polish isn't peeling up off your nails. I honestly don't even know if the gel polish would stick if you skipped this step, but doing this just really like seals the deal and makes them look so much more real, in my opinion. Like at this stage they always just look like acrylics after application to me. Next, we're gonna take the nail file and just go ahead and file and clean up the edges. This is to kind of just get the extra glue that spilled out when I was applying the nails. And after that, I'm going to take these little nail brushes, just going to use one, but I'm going to take this and wash my nails to get all the powder off. Here are all of the gel polishes I'm going to use. They are from the brand Beetles, which is my favorite gel polish brand. So we have a base coat, a top coat, and then the pink and white polish that I'm going to be mixing to create the French tip color, which is like this really pretty Barbie pink. But these polishes are really good, best in my opinion, and I've tried a few brands, so I have a little bit of plausibility, I guess. But I'm just gonna go ahead and do the base coat. I paint the entire nail with the base coat and then I cure it for a few seconds, maybe 5 to 10 seconds each nail. And I do this just so it's not runny while I do the next nail, because I don't want that base coat seeping into my cuticles and making a mess. It just doesn't look as clean when it does that. So we're going to be doing this, and then on the final nail I'm going to load that timer up for 90 seconds. This is the base polish color I'm going to be using for my nail. It's going to be kind of like a nude. These aren't super opaque, so I have to layer them pretty well. I'm going to do 3 layers of this brand. The third layer is going to be a different color, but first I'm going to do 2 layers of this color. And here's what the first layer looks like. It's just super sheer and a really pretty nude. And I'm going to be going in with the second layer. You guys can see it obviously opaqued it up a little bit better, which I think looks amazing. It's such a pretty color, but I still want to go ahead and add another one on top just to make sure it's not super see-through. And I feel like you might be surprised to know that you can't actually see the like bubbles from the nail glue through the polish. It's pretty insane. This polish does a good job at covering that up. And you know, the neater you are with application, the better it will look. This is the second color I'm going to be going in with, and we're just going to be doing 1 coat of this color. And you want to make sure that each coat is cured for 90 seconds. Like I said, I go in after each fingernail and cure for a little bit, so you know, they definitely all wind up getting 90 seconds by the time I'm done painting one hand. But yeah, if you like painting nails, you'll probably be good at this. This is the detail brush that I like to use. It's actually a paintbrush. You can just use any paintbrush. And I'm going to take the 2 polishes, 419 and 422, but I'm just going to mix those up until I get the color that I want. I probably should have done this before, but before I paint the pink French tip, I'm going to go ahead and paint a white French tip. This is 419, obviously the white gel polish from Beetles. And then to clean it up, I'm going to be taking another paintbrush with just a little bit of acetone to kind of sharpen up that line and really keep the French tip looking super crisp. I know everybody does their French tips differently as far as shape goes, but I prefer mine to be in more of like a U shape. So I'm just here cleaning that up and making sure the edges are super crisp and clean, and I don't want any polish where it shouldn't be. So just being really careful and paying attention to detail is important in this part. Here's what the French tip is looking like. Super cute, and it's honestly so satisfying to watch this. And I'm gonna cure that white for just a little bit, just maybe like 15 seconds, and then move on to my other nails to paint the white French tip. And as I cure those other nails, my thumb and you know the following fingers will cure into completion. here's what the index is looking like. The white coat doesn't have to be perfect, it's just a base for the pink, so I'm making sure that I keep it sharp, but it's not like end of the world if it's not. I really hate that my camera was out of focus for most of this part, but honestly filming this was a little bit difficult because of the angle I wanted to get. I had the camera over my shoulder and was pretty much breaking my neck to get the angles right. But anyways, I'm just gonna make sure that the French tips are even as far as how big they are and how far they come up the side of my nails. I'm really a perfectionist, so getting this down to like the crispiest crisp was very important for me. So satisfying. Oh my gosh, yes. Then we're gonna cure again, of course. And then sometimes I'll use just the regular brush from the polish, as you can see, to make like the biggest part of the French tip, and then go on with the detail brush to make the finer lines. It's just easier that way than filling in the entire tip of your nail with the detail brush. And then obviously in between coats, I'm being really careful not to bump the other ones because they're not fully cured and I don't want to create like dips in them or bumps. So just being really careful, of course. I feel like you kind of have to have a lot of patience to do this. This definitely takes me a few hours when I do my nails at home. It took me probably double the time since I was filming it this time. However, it doesn't normally take me that long if I'm not filming. So I typically spend 3 to 4 hours on my nails at home, but I think it's worth saving the money. And I'm going to make sure to just clean up all the white off my fingers and around my nails. And now I'm going to be following it with the pink gel polish. And this is only after I've cured my hand for 90 seconds, making sure that the white is completely dry. And doing the white layer really made a difference in how vibrant the pink was. I tried the pink before putting the white layer down and it was so dull you could barely even tell it was pink. So it's definitely crucial if you want your colors to pop. But if you're just doing a plain white French, obviously don't have to do all this. You just do 2 layers of your white French tip and you're good to go. That's typically how I do my nails, but I wanted to do something a little bit different for today's video. And then in the end, I wound up doing, I think, about 2 to maybe 3 coats of this pink, just so that it could be its like best, most vibrant color. I definitely wanted it to look perfect, so you don't have to do as many coats as I did. That's just me being a perfectionist. But I was overall pretty happy with how this set came out. I think this is the longest set I've done with these press-ons. I'm gonna call them press-ons because that's technically what they are. If they're being glued down, they're press-ons. But I normally use these to do my nails super short, and so the set that I had before this was long, and then this one was even longer. So it's like really satisfying to see, you know, the work be done, and it's rewarding after you've spent hours on your nails for them to look perfect and just the way you like it, which is definitely an advantage of doing your own nails because you can do them exactly how you want and you don't have to have that awkward conversation with your nail tech that, you know, you don't like that they did something a certain way, or that, you know, your nail's a certain shape or the color's wrong. You can just do whatever you want. And as I'm painting the pink French tip, I'm still going back and cleaning it up with acetone like I did with the white to make sure everything looks as clean and sharp as possible. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing me say those words, but you get the idea. Just trying to make everything super precise. So I just finished off the first coat, cure that, and I'm moving on to the second. This just really like did it for the nails. It really gave it that final touch that it needed. Now you could stop here and do just your top coat and you could have a really cute pink French tip manicure. However, I wanted to go for something a little bit more girly, so I decided to add another polish on top. You guys will see what I'm talking about in a little bit, but it just gave it that extra pizzazz and like, no, I don't want to see wow factor, but made them a little bit more interesting than just the plain pink French. And I would say this is probably the part that takes me the longest, so definitely just take time to master painting your nails. So this is the glitter polish I'm going to use to go over the pink. This is OPI Happy Anniversary, and this is not a gel polish. I realize it may seem a little weird to add the regular polish on top of the gel polish, but once it dried down, I was able to go over it with the top coat, and it didn't move around, it didn't chip, it didn't lift, none of that. It actually worked just fine. You just have to make sure that it dries before you go in with the gel top coat, and that way everything will work out just fine, and then it should cure like normal after that. With my final top coat, I always do 2 minutes instead of a minute and a half. And after they're done curing, I like to go back in with my nail file and clean up the sides again. Make sure there's no like little clumps of polish hanging around, and just make everything super clean. Here they are done. I'm so excited that finally to the end. Here's how they look. I'm super satisfied with how they came out, and I hope you guys really enjoyed watching. Maybe you guys learned something, and if you guys have any questions about products or anything, let me know in the comments and I will get back to you guys. But thank you so much for watching.
Here's how they came out. I'm super happy with it. It honestly took me so long, but in my opinion, it's worth it. These always last me like 3 to 4 weeks. So you're definitely getting your money's worth. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you guys are interested in any of the products that I used in today's video, everything will be listed in my description box with the link, so you guys can go ahead and find everything. Just anything in general, let me know in the comments as well. And thanks guys so much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
I miss my cocoa butter kisses. Hope you smile when you listen.